Okay, thank you. We're happy to participate in this presentation forum. Golden Tag is a exploration company. We are situated in Durango State in Mexico. We have, just on slide 3, we have one of the largest undeveloped silver deposits with over 150 million ounces of silver and over 1.5 billion pounds of zinc in resources. It's one of the most undervalued assets in the market when we compare our enterprise value per ounce to other silver companies. We are undervalued, and that means it's a great opportunity for buying the stock. So as we get revalued in the market, the stock price will go higher. New management has been brought on to the company in the last few months, and Will and myself are experienced executives in the mining business. We've both been around for over 20 years with a very strong experience. I come from the investment banking world, where I financed and advised many mining companies all around the world, including in Asia, did several deals in China, and then Will talk a little bit about himself. He also has been involved in putting several mines into production very successfully. We have at San Diego several drill-ready targets, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that as we move forward. There is a lot of activity in our camp. The major Mexican exploration company, Peñoles, is in the area, and they're doing a lot of work, which we will talk about. Just on slide 4, you can see that some of the large deposits with silver contained. Penasquito is over 400 million ounces of silver. Golden Tag, over 100 million ounces of silver, and this is silver only. And then there's a few other deposits in the region that have a lot of silver, like Cores La Preciosa, Southern Silver, and a few others. Next slide. We are undervalued relative to our peers. In the middle of the page, you can see the dashed line. That's the average of the group. And on the far right, you can see Golden Tag, which has very low value per ounce today. And as we go into the future, as we're drilling, we should get revalued higher up to at least the average line. And so you can see that it's a great buying opportunity in our stock today, so that as we get revalued, investors can participate in the upside in the company. Next slide. The management we talked about was brought in. Basically, the key leaders of the team are myself, Carmelo's the Chief Financial Officer, Will's the VP Corporate Development and Investor Relations, and then we have a strong board of experienced mining folks. Next slide. As you can see, this company was dormant for a long period of time, and then we brought in the new management team at the end of May, and then we did a financing to bring in some key shareholders. And then as we were able to restart the company and get things going again, and then the market started to recognize the work that we were doing, and silver price moved up, we were able to do a larger financing and bring in Eric Sprott, who owns over 18% of the company. As you know, Eric Sprott is one of the key mining investors, well known, very successful, and he has supported us and understands the strategy that we're doing and is looking forward to us being very successful. We have no debt on our books, and we have about $9 million in cash. So we're fully financed for the next couple of years at least to execute on our drill programs that we're working on. Our market cap is about, today's prices, it's about $55 million. And we're hopeful that as we get revalued based on the comparables, we can see a share price going over 75 cents towards the dollar. My colleague will discuss some of the on-the-ground activities that we have in the company.
Hello, my name is Will Ansley, and I'd like to talk to you about the San Diego project, which is located in the prolific Velardeña Mining District in Durango, Mexico. The camp is very active. It has over 100 years of mining, and it's dominated by a company, a Mexican company that's very large called Peñoles. The only other company that's really in the camp other than ourselves is a company called Golden Minerals, which is located in proximity. We are in what we would call, I don't know how this translates in Chinese, but we're in what we would call elephant country, a country of large an area geologically of large deposits. We are sitting next to a major project in Peñoles. They've made a significant discovery approximately 2 kilometers away from our property boundary. As you can see in the slide on top, in 2012, the project of Peñoles was very small, and today they have over 100 drill pads. They've made a sizable discovery over there, and they've got a resource, a starting resource of over 19 million tons of 1.9% copper. Just to give you a sense, the average mined grade globally of copper is about 0.3, 0.4%. So they're sitting multiple times over there with a sizable deposit 2 kilometers away from our 200+ million ounces of silver. That tells us that our deposit, which we already know, is primed to get larger, and we're in very good geologic country. Our deposit has a sizable already resource compliant 43101 resource compliant statement with significant resource. We have over 100 million ounces of silver and over 200 million ounces of silver equivalent. The deposit is polymetallic, so it's dominated by silver, but also contains significant contributions from zinc and, to a lesser extent, lead and copper and gold. The resource was very confident that we would be able to come back to the project and drill and expand the deposit by approximately 50% through drilling in known areas. And I'm going to show you where and how we're confident that that could be achieved. There's 4 main targeted areas for immediate drilling. The first is what we call the 1849 target, located between 2 drill intercepts. Above that target, from 400 meters to surface, the Fernandez zone would be our 3rd area, and regional exploration on Arroyo and other targets. Slide that we're showing here is a overview, plan view of the property, showing these targeted areas, 4 key exploration zones. This slide shows the target of 1849, which is located between these two drill intercepts, holes 18 and 49 respectively, which had sizable intersections. Hole 49 intersected a combined 42 meters of 186 grams equivalent silver, which is a sizable intercept. And now, approximately 250 meters below that, hole 18 intersected over 100 meters of continuous continuous mineralization with over 92 grams silver equivalent. We're highly confident that when we come back to drill this project within this area, there should be no reason why it's not encountering the same mineralized trend shown here. And within that, just to give you a sense, within that 250 meter area, if it should continue with the same kind of widths and grades that were already shown above and below it, you can hide over 10 million ounces of silver in there, or 26 million ounces of silver equivalent, just in this area here, shown in the ellipse. To give you a sense of the Fernandez zone, which is bulk tonnage area over here, if shown on the right, if we were able to extend this zone up another 200 meters towards surface, you can find an additional 45 million ounces of silver right in this area. You can see this lovely, huge, meaningful intercept with hole 49 intersected 338 meters of mineralization grading 175 grams per ton of silver equivalent over a combined width here between these two areas. Those are significant world-class intercepts. Here are some of the other intercepts on the next slide, shown of the Fernandez zone that were intersected. There are a number of intersections that you can see total approximately 200 meters, grading similar silver intercepts. The Trovador zone sitting to the right of Fernandez is another high priority exploration target. You can see that we've got some indicated mineralization here shown in blue/purple, and then green inferred below it, some in the middle, and then more inferred down below, quite a bit. Well, in this area that has yet to be drilled of 400 by 400 by 400 meters, you can find an equivalent amount of silver for 43 million ounces at those grades and widths that are already populated in the resources above and below. And we see no reason that silver shouldn't be present in this area. And there's some other materials in the appendix that we've included for your review, but in the sake of brevity, we'll leave that for you to review on your own. So in summary, we're highly confident when we come back to the project with our exploration program, which should be either late this month or early in November, depending on access to the property. There have been some COVID restrictions in Mexico, but we're going to get back there very shortly. We're highly confident that we can add a significant amount of tonnage and silver to the compliant resources, which already have over 1 ounce per share, common share outstanding for shareholders.
Okay, Gilbert,
Okay.
questions?
Yes, thank you for the sharing with us the story. Let's open up for a few questions here. Well, I got a question from Max here and another from the Chinese feed, all asking the similar question. So are there any issues that you have with the ongoing political climate in Mexico. So she's asking, both of them asking about geopolitical risk there in Mexico. What's your thoughts on that?
Mexico is a well-established mining jurisdiction. It's pretty safe. International companies have been operating in Mexico well over 100 years, and the mining culture is well established. So we don't see any major geopolitical issues in Mexico, and it's quite safe to operate in Mexico.
Good. There's another question from Fiona here. She's so why was the new management team be able to bring the share price up, and how will you maintain the upward trend momentum? So I think it's more reasonable to ask why the share price be able to perform quite well in the last 6 months or so. Maybe you can explain that a bit.
Well, the first reason really is bringing on experienced management team that understands the mining business. We took a lot of time evaluating this company before we came in, and then obviously a number of the changes that we've made in the company to reposition this asset. It's a very valuable project, but the market doesn't know anything about it. So we're only starting now to get out there in forums like yours and tell the story. And you can see on the comparable companies page that we're still way undervalued. And if we can achieve the average valuation of all the other silver companies on a per ounce basis, we'll be able to get a much higher share price and therefore maintain the momentum that you asked about.
Okay, so thank you for that. And there's a question from Donnie. What can we expect in terms of the news releases by the end of the year, in the next few months?
Well, we hope to start the drill program imminently within the next month, and then there'll be a steady flow of news release from the drill results. We are also looking at other transactions, at acquiring silver ounces and expanding our property interests. So, we're well capitalized. We have over $9 million in treasury, and we've got great shareholders in this company and already a lot of silver, and we're very confident that silver can grow. So there should be a steady flow of news, not only through the end of the year, but in the first quarter and thereafter.
Okay, this question coming from Bruce here. It's more macro things. Any one of you can comment. Talk about the silver price. Why has maybe silver responded differently than gold during the COVID-19 days, or in general? What's your thoughts about silver price in general?
So historically, if you go back 10 to 15 years, if we just take that time frame, silver used to trade at a 50-to-1 ratio with gold. Today, it's about 80-to-1. And over the last couple of years, it's been upwards of 100-to-1 ratio with gold. Now, if we're talking about the last 4 or 5 months where silver price has started to move higher, you can just look at the compression of that ratio as being one factor. But there's so many uses, industrial and other store of value uses for silver, that we will see that ratio between gold and silver continue to come down. And so there's much more upside generally in silver equities, the silver price, and silver companies than there is in gold. Both are good, but I think there's more upside in silver.
Okay, very good answer for that. Maybe one last question here from Donnie, just asking if do you have any analyst coverage so far yet?
No, none yet.
Good. Yes, maybe too early, but that's what makes it exciting for investors to get in that early stage of the company. So I think that's it for all the questions here. Thank you for your time, Greg and Will. So I will let you all go, and thank you again for sharing your insights about your silver properties.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to meeting with your online investors again.
Thank you, Greg and Will.
Cheers.